Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So we had to switch things over
Yes,
because we were having seriously technical difficulties.
yes. I need a new laptop. So
Yeah, Mike.
when I can start withdrawing my money, which I can do. I think I've got about 200 so far. I'm going to put it towards a new laptop.
Oh, well, my laptop's new and it's still already giving me problems, for Christ's
Oh
sake.
god. Maybe I just need to do a good 2020 clean out.
So, the reason why we're doing this tonight on my channel, in case anybody may not understand what's going on here, um, this is Miss Murder Australia, otherwise Miss
Hello.
Murder, otherwise Miss Mystery, otherwise
No, just Miss Murder.
Miss Murder.
Forget about Miss Mystery. And then you and I are Murderlocks. Woohoo!
What's that?
You and I are Murderlocks.
Yeah. That's interesting, to say the least. No,
You don't like that name, I can tell.
I didn't say I didn't like it. It was just I was like Murderlocks.
That's interesting. That's interesting. It's like that's interesting. I want to vomit.
Then again, you're a Vikings fan, so what can I say?
Let's go Vikings. Let's go. Come
If
on.
and if you're a Minnesota Vikings fan, don't even. She's not really a Vikings fan. She does it just to annoy me.
I was at Peggy's house and I had to go for the opposite team, which happened to be the Minnesota Vikings. So I'm going to buy a jersey.
No, you need a jersey of the Eagles.
No, I'm buying a Minnesota Vikings jersey and then I'm going to video you on game day.
Oh, I already videoed myself. I already have a video up of myself on game day, which was absolutely awful.
I'm just putting your link in the Facebook group.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Let me see. Yeah, I need to find out how to share this too as myself. Like, I don't even know. Yeah, because I didn't even put a picture. Now I'm just realizing I didn't even put a picture. So it always shows the picture of my friend's house from the beach. Uh, and it's over the bay.
I
And it's
thought you
always,
could only do that if you paid for StreamYards.
no,
Because the only picture I can have as background that's free is like these leaves.
well, no, I used this background like a long time ago. So when I used it, I haven't been able to change it, and it's just my go-to screen. So
Uh-huh.
it's my thumb. It's the picture that comes up on YouTube. So it's just a
Right.
picture of Ocean City, New Jersey, at sunset. So that's what it is.
You know what? Now that
Go.
I'm a guest on your show, I have a feeling you can share screen.
I can what?
That guests can share screen of their computer. Yes, I can.
How can they do that?
Just
Oops.
press on share screen because I've got that option.
All right. So share screen. There you go.
Yeah. Uh, Bear with me, and I need to bring up um, the playlist I created.
I'm not noticing that you have access to this.
I'm going to try.
I
Hang on a
don't
minute.
see it. Hi, Quack Relaxing. I think I got that right. How are you? So we're gonna do here like our. I'm not gonna say top 10. That's like the horrible way of saying something. But the craziest stories that kind of shook us here on YouTube from true crime stories this year. So that's what we're gonna go over. And that's what we're gonna do. And oops, hold on. Doo doo doo. There you go. Woohoo!
I
Look at
can do
that.
it.
And you just did. Look at
And
that.
it's paused. It's ready to go.
Okay.
Oh, why is
So
it
let's
all working?
roll.
It's all working nice and perfect on yours. That's great. Okay, here we go.
Don't
First
ask.
one we were going to talk about. We're just going to go most recent.
I just gonna say
Hiding
don't ask
facade.
questions. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
The baby girl who was found alive after being missing for a week is on her way home to her family. Good evening. I'm Robert Hadlock. Sydney has the night off. We're confirming tonight Child Protective Services is handling the baby Margot over to them, and she is not in CPS custody anymore. This is earlier tonight. Candles were lit, all to remember her mother, Heidi Broussard. The 33-year-old was kidnapped and killed last week. KXAN's Alex Capriello shares the heartfelt message of those at tonight's vigil.
They're not alone in this, that people care.
Austin has wrapped its arms around Heidi Broussard, Shane Carey, and baby Margot.
Beyond comprehension to watch your son or you know he didn't do a doggone thing, and you know how much he loved her, and it's just unbelievable.
Heartbroken, a crowd gathers at Garrison Park. Some of these people say they knew her personally. Many say they didn't.
God just told me I needed to be here.
People told me learning the way Heidi Broussard died was hard for them to comprehend. It's a story that many of us have been following closely.
Just on its own, it's tragic, but some of the other elements that have come out about this story is just, it's just unbelievable, heartbreaking.
These people pray comfort will come to the family during this holiday season.
She was loved and she was cared about, and people want to come out in support of the family.
Appreciate your family, your friends, especially this time of the year, and just love one another and just be there for each other.
Tonight's vigil is said to be one of many planned for Heidi Broussard. The pastor speaking tonight said that there are already memorials being planned for January. In Austin, Alex Capriello, KXAN News.
So where?
Yep, so sad.
It's such a sad, but the most, I would say, bizarre story.
It's not something
2000,
you hear a lot of.
It's not something you can, I like, the thought of my best friend, like, I can't even wrap my head around that. Which would be my friend Tina, who you met. Like, I couldn't even wrap my head around that. Like, that, that's crazy to me.
To somewhat, and I did try to see each side, and we don't know but I think Megan may have been pregnant and had a miscarriage, and I don't know what that does to a woman. I haven't gone through that, so.
I have.
And, well, I don't know if you're able to explain.
I can. Because I can explain to you only from my point of view what happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in between having both my girls. So it was a child that was in between.
Right.
And literally at the 14-week mark, I had gotten an ultrasound. Something was up. Something didn't seem right. And I couldn't put my finger on it. And I went in, I got an ultrasound done, and they disappeared on me, leaving me sitting in the dark for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm
and
like,
what was going through your head?
Never. I don't know why miscarriage didn't come over me, but it didn't. To the point where they were saying there was no heartbeat and it didn't even register.
Yeah.
Still in my head that my baby wasn't alive.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't make sense. And it was heartbreaking. It was beyond heartbreaking, but nothing to the point that I would have ever, I was brokenhearted, but nothing to the point where I would have ever acted out and violent, but that I'm not everybody. You know what I mean? I'm just me. I have no idea how this woman, but see, this was obviously meticulously planned out. She wore a baby bump.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't like...
She stayed in her friend's. She said she was in the room when Margot was born.
Yeah,
so to me, this was meticulously calculated.
Yeah, it wasn't like
there's something
wrong with me because I had a miscarriage and I went through a day of doing this. No, it was months, wasn't it?
The good news right now to the story is that the baby is alive, and they did reunite the father with the daughter Margot.
But that was Christmas a quick turnaround on that was Christmas Eve.
Hi, Linda Kay. How are you, Linda?
That was a very quick turnaround for DNA testing.
But, here was the thing, and this is what I had read and saw, and because God knows, J for Justice did a phenomenal job with this, and I can only give her props to what happened.
Yes.
But I mean,
Applause.
no, who would have known? Who would have
No.
known? And I can tell you right now, Jay for Justice did not know when she entered in to that live what was going to happen by the end. Nobody
No.
did.
No.
And and you know, a lot of people give her crap and whatever, but you know, she did. In
I
my
agree.
opinion, in my
Sorry.
opinion, she did. I think she did a great job. She actually asked all the right questions to actually get to what we needed. And people don't understand when you are in a job like that and you don't ask the right questions because maybe you're in shock or whatever it might be,
Mm-hmm.
you kind
Yeah.
of blank out. And you know what? She was able to answer a lot of questions that the police couldn't even answer the following day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's right. It was amazing, and I think that props have to be given to the audience as well, because there were people in there coming up with the address and
absolutely,
all the
absolutely.
rest of it. So they were all on top of it too.
Yeah, they were. And you know me, I'm not someone who's constantly been in true crime. I love following it, I will say
Mhm.
that, but I've never been one to really talk about it. But you know, the people who I follow, I enjoy all the true crime channels, including Bridget Parker, who just showed up.
Mhm.
Hi, Bridget. I love Bridget. I should just say hi. And Mario's here. Hello,
And
Mary.
hi, Mary.
So yeah, I don't think, going back to the story, I don't think it could have been a misca. I just, it doesn't feel like that's what it was to me. To me, it feels more like it was more calculated.
Yeah, actually, when she mentioned the baby bump, then I think about that. It's still not clear if there was a second person
No, there's,
arrested. Um, the press and the police, well, the police are being a little bit evasive about that. We can say who it's not. We can say it's not Shane.
it's not
We can say
Shane.
it's not Chris.
Mm-mm.
Um,
It's
Megan's
it's it's
partner.
Megan right now. I mean, and there's not even charges yet because they still don't have. And being my sister is a prosecuting attorney, so when I ever have questions about any kind of case, I'm like, well, why is this happening? And she'll be like, and she always knows stuff before it actually happened. She'll be like, yeah, there's not enough evidence. Oh, there's enough evidence. Or like, we were both following Patrick Frazee case, and she was just like, this could go either way. This could go either way. And
Yeah, that's right.
hi, the Bryan clan. Sorry, just went to say hello.
Hello,
Um,
hello.
but the story to me is something that I have realized that more people are following than not.
Hmm.
Like, my neighbors had a party the other night, and everybody knew about this story. Everybody knew about this story. And they were like, oh my God. And I was telling them what was said on Jay's channel the night that her friend was on. And
Yeah.
people were just absolutely in shock. Just like, it's so disturbing. It's such a
Hmm.
disturbing story.
Yeah, it
So,
is. You don't often hear about it. It has happened before, but you more often hear about fetal abduction.
mm-hmm.
Where she could have gone that way. She could have, but
Oh,
she waited.
there was
She
there
waited.
was there was a recent story that said that somebody abducted someone from they killed the parent, whoever the mother was, and were able to take the baby. I
I've got
don't
that video. I'll
I
make it public today.
I don't I let's not show that.
No, 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 no,
that
no.
that's
Later on, if you
ugh.
do want to know about that case, I do have it uploaded. I've just got everything on private, and then I'll release that one today.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, and that is terrible, terrible. I think that baby ended up dying too. Um, so at least little Margot is okay. Um,
That's the bright side, but there is a very definite dark side to the fact that Heidi was killed by her best friend. Like, that just,
yeah.
that I can't wrap my head around that. I can't, because that, like, what I could only think what could be behind that. Like, as you
Hmm.
said, like, you thought it might be. I don't think that could even be because that doesn't, you would never do that. I would never do that, to even thinking of that, doing that to
No,
a friend. I
no.
couldn't even wrap my head around it.
I don't
Couldn't.
think for most people, it doesn't even enter their mind as a
No.
thought, let alone, or think it, or, yeah, it doesn't even come up as a thought. Not even like, oh, I could do this. Oh, no, I can't do that.
Linda Kay just said, you just never know these days what people are, and that's true. Like, I find myself each and every week that people are shocking me with some of the stuff that they do that I'm like, I didn't even know that could happen. Like, it blows my mind. Especially a lot of the stories that the few stories that we're going to talk about here, where Heidi Broussard is just the first one. And we're just talking about some of the stories that bothered us from 2019, whether, it was a trial, whether it was an arrest, whether it was a murder, whatever happened during 2019 that really grabbed some people's attention, maybe didn't grab everybody's attention, that with the both of us might even discuss here. One story I did want to bring up real quickly. Mario knows a little bit about this story, and I'm just going to share a little bit of the story itself. Is that there were 4 boys from Pennsylvania, from the Bucks County region, which is more around Philadelphia area. There were 4 young men, anywhere between the ages, I believe it was 19 and 22. And this all went down in the summer of 2017. And 4 young boys went missing right before the 4th of July holiday, which was a very, as if you're not from here, it's a huge holiday around here. During the middle of the summer, everybody's off. And during the story, when I was watching, there were 4 kids, and there was one child, and I call him a child, he's not a child, he was like 20 years old. He had diabetes. And they had found his car on this property of this kid's parents' farm, which his name was Cosmo DiNardo. The 4 kids who were missing were Tom Mayo, Mark Sturgis, Dean Finicaro, and Dean Finicaro and Sean Fitzpatrick. Am I saying that right? I'm not even sure if I'm saying his last name.
I'm not sure.
Mary will let me know whatever if I have it wrong or not. But I'm kind of like talking off the top of my head. Now, when this murder went down, the guy who was in charge, or the head of it, you could say, he confessed immediately and got the death penalty taken away from him. Where his cousin, who performed these acts with him, he kind of tried to blame it on his cousin. He tried to blame it on the fact that he was crazy. He tried to blame it on the fact that, he was terrified. But see, this is where the police did the right thing. Now, when Sean Kratz, who was the cousin, went through this trial, and we were all very much well aware, because he's been in jail since July because his cousin gave him up. So he's been in jail awaiting trial. He got to trial. Now, this trial was kind of going on simultaneously with the Patrick Frazee case. So if you kind of know when the Patrick Frazee case went down, was around in November. That's when this went down. Yeah. And the fact of the matter is that this kid, thankfully, God willingly, was guilty. He was guilty.
They found him guilty.
Because he was found guilty, and he was guilty. But thankfully, like, they came back and they had said that the death penalty was immediately taken off the table. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I know. And you went live about that.
I was just like, how does someone get threatened with the death penalty, which is the worst thing you could possibly hear get threatened with, at least to what the extent of the law is. What is in your head? Do you want to live through your life in jail, or would you rather die tomorrow? A lot of people might find it easy just to out themselves tomorrow. Where this kid, because Pennsylvania has not used the death penalty in 99 years,
Wow.
they decided to take it off because he had said to either fans, friends, or whomever they were that he wanted to get the death penalty because he wanted to be infamous. He wanted to be known as the only person, like he wanted to have this title.
Yeah.
So he's like, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down. And they're like, no, 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 no. We're going to take that away from you. And you're going to spend the rest of your life in jail, just like a rest of the number, just like everybody else. And
you'll become
no
a
one's going to
nobody.
no one's going to give a shit about you
You're not going to be
whatsoever.
infamous, buddy. Yeah.
Right. You're just another number. And that's what they did. And a lot of the families did not agree with it like for like wholeheartedly. They
Mhm.
wanted to see the death penalty put into place, but at the
Because he
same
wanted it.
right.
Yeah.
Now the deaths, there was 4 kids, so most of them were all gunned down. There was one of the kids who was more than gunned down. He survived the gun. We're not really sure who. I think it was Cosmo DiNardo who did this to the one child, 20-year-old kid. But there was a backhoe, which what they use for digging and things like that. Big
Mhm.
machine. He wound up running over him with it. Absolutely appalling. Just appalling. Just the thought.
Was he still alive?
He was still alive, and he offed him that way, which was
Disgusting. Now, I was going to cover this case on my channel. I think the best format is going to, because my format's changing on my channel, and Ginger and I are doing a lot more together in 2020. So I think I might do some lives on it and get you on there and just go through it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Might be a good way to go about it. But yeah, because it's just
It bothers me for many reasons. That's all I'm just going to say. It bothers me for a whole lot of reasons. Excuse me.
Let me see if I can just, I might be able to share my screen here. And you'll be able to tell me who is
Choking,
who in
sorry.
this. Yeah, no, that's fine. Just choke away. Okay. I can't share my whole screen. I need to get a second screen or a computer that can handle that. But anyway, it's a shame. Yeah, so we will go further into this particular case.
It's a case that didn't really get much attention here on YouTube, and
Isn't that
I'm
interesting?
surprised.
What gets attention, what gets national attention, and what doesn't,
Who makes that determination? That's what I want to know. Who makes that determination? What gets prioritized, what doesn't? Because guess what? This story is actually going to be on, I think it's Oxygen or ID, and they're making a movie of it. They are
This
making
is
a
the
movie
big story, and I don't understand why it didn't get as much attention. I mean, we're talking about 4 young men here who lost their lives.
Yes. Sons,
not 1, not 2, not 3.
Sons, brothers, I don't think any of them were husbands, but sons, brothers, and boyfriends.
Do they have children, any of them? Or?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Well, I mean, that's a blessing, but yeah. So, all right. Well, I've got another one if you wanted to move on. I've just got a clip here.
Aha. Now I'm seeing how to do this.
County medical examiner describes
Right, you got it?
I got it.
Right.
Maria Davis death. 4-year-old was reported missing from Houston earlier last month.
Hey, put this on pause 1 second.
Okay.
Her mother's ex-fiance during.
Yep.
Just in case people need to know, this is a case out of New Jersey that kind of happened around right before Halloween. Wait, no, this isn't the same one. This isn't the one from New Jersey. Whoops, my bad. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Wrong person.
No,
All right.
that's right. Well, this one is Malia Davies. People will remember this. Just bear with me. I'm just trying to get back to the chat. Yeah, so this one was also out of Texas. Everyone knows that pretty much my feet landed in Texas at the beginning of this year for the Lauren Thompson case, and they're pretty much going to stay there. I mean, I'm going to cover other areas, of course, but everyone, I think, remembers when Malia Davis went missing.
Homicidal violence is how the Harris County Medical Examiner describes Malia Davis's cause of death. The 4-year-old was reported missing from Houston earlier last month. Crews found her remains a few weeks later. Police say her mother's ex-fiance, Darian Vance, confessed to someone that he did it. He said it was an accident. Searchers found Malia's remains in Arkansas based on Vance's information. He's in the Harris County Jail in administration separation, meaning he's not with the general population. Jail officials say he's in his own single-door cell for his own safety. Right now, he's charged with tampering with evidence.
So, yeah, very sad, that case. And it wasn't the only one, you know. Remember, there was a whole cluster of them. I think Cupcake McKinney as well, and this beautiful little girl. I don't get it. I don't believe him when he says it was an accident. I just
No. And there's another story of a little girl who's like, I think you and I talked about this, who's missing out of New Jersey as well.
Yeah, if we lead into that one from Malia, I think with Malia's, it was just a shock because I think it was the first one for the year that, you know, that hit the news again. Who decides, you know, what this happened? It started off as an Amber Alert. That's what I started reporting it as, and you know, and then the video came out of him carrying, I think, a bucket and some like cleaning products or something like that, and I think that's what led them to be able to find out. But it took over a month to find her remains, which I think were scattered. So, yeah.
When little kids are involved, man, I can't. It's really hard for me to stomach.
Yeah.
But there is a little girl who's also missing in New Jersey.
She's still missing?
She's a 5-year-old little girl who vanished from New Jersey playground around, I think they said it was Hightstown, New Jersey. One teacher blamed Mexican culture. No one knows for sure what happened to 5-year-old Dulce Maria, who disappeared from a playground in Bridgeton, New Jersey, in broad daylight last week and has been missing. But this was like what happened that week.
Right.
And I'm just reading something that's.
When was that? When
that's
did
from
she
the
go
Washington
missing?
Post. That was November the 14th. Around November, around November the 14th it was. Or no. She's been missing from a park since September the 16th.
Oh, wow.
Of this year. Yeah.
And she's still missing.
She's still missing, and it says here, cops have not given up hope. And this was a recent
Surely
article.
there's a suspect or a person of interest, or.
No, believe it or not, this one they have no idea. This child vanished without a trace. Like they cannot, and they do not know where this child went to. 5-year-old little girl who was just playing. She was playing in the park where her parents were.
Just how though? Like, did they turn their backs for a minute, or?
It makes you crazy as a parent living here, that's for sure. I mean,
you can't even turn around for 30 seconds, or.
Because when I can remember when this happened, like my daughter's only 9, so which you know, and if her and her friend wanted to do something, and at that moment we're like, I'm not even letting my 9-year-old out of my sight. Like it was
Wasn't a woman attacked on that path like a mile from you?
Yeah, there was actually.
Without doxing
But
you?
yeah, like, do not dox me, please.
No.
Thank you very
No,
much.
no, no, no.
I kind of give my estimation around where I live, but I don't choose to dox myself, although I probably have in the past somewhere. But yeah, no, I mean, it was, and you only know this because you were here.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was somebody, like, I live in a pretty decent suburban area. We have a
Mm.
huge area of, I'm not gonna say it's not fields, tons of fields, which is a park.
Yeah.
And the park itself, there was somebody who was jogging on this park's trails. Now, our town is not necessarily known for having crime whatsoever. Not even like dumpster fires and stuff like
No.
that. We don't even have stuff like that. So this was scary because it was around the same time that this little girl went missing.
Mhm.
So yeah, me and all my friend parents were like, "Nope, we're not letting you out of our sight." We're
No,
like,
and you couldn't let the girls go and walk on that path or anything. It's
and that
just,
path is used every day by so many people. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, dog walking or running or whatever, but you can't even go and do the things you enjoy anymore.
No, not at all.
Um, it's just really scary.
Um, moving on.
Uh-huh.
I don't.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Patrick Frazee case.
Oh boy,
This will take some time, I'm sure.
it is. Okay, you start because I need to go to the toilet. Because if we start talking right now on the Patrick Frazee case, I'm gonna pee my pants.
I know. I'm feeling the same way.
Oh no! Oh no! All right, hang on. Just give me a tick, and then you
All
can
right,
go.
you
All
take a
right.
minute. I'll wait here. I'll
That's
talk to
why it's
people.
good having the two of us.
Okay. Oh, that's so funny. So yeah, we were supposed to do this on Miss Murder's channel. Well, okay. Her name's Bridget. Anyway, she tells my name all the time. Anywho, we're on her channel, and we were planning on doing this on her channel, because we just decided to start doing some things together. Because sometimes it's just a little bit easier to talk online to each other when it's, instead of talking to yourself. Talking to yourself sometimes can be a little bit difficult. Um, But I kind of learned how to do it when I was in radio back in the day. So that's why I don't mind it so much. It doesn't bother me. But I was never on talk radio, so that makes it a little slightly more difficult. But even just to sit like and do this, talk to yourself, it's not as easy as it sounds. Although some people might talk to themselves on a normally basis, so it might not be that difficult. I know I do. God, I talk to myself all the time. Keeps me sane. Um, so yeah, there's a couple more stories that we're going to talk about, but definitely we're going to get into the Patrick Frazee case. I was very into and followed the trial uh, through many different other creators here on um, YouTube, and I followed it every day. I mean, for the most days that I could, I followed this story. I think a lot of other people did too. It was a huge story. Like, again, we don't know. I mean, I guess I understand why the Patrick Frazee was so big, because once again, it was another mother from Colorado who was missing at that time, and it was kind of crazy. Um, that once again another mother was missing from Colorado, and then started the Patrick Frazee case, which was back in Thanksgiving of last year. Are you back? She's not back. I thought it sounded like she was back to me. I don't know. But Linda Kay's back. Hey, sweetie. um, yeah, she's taking a long time, right? I thought it was me. No. Familia de Estrada. Hello, how are you? Thank you for coming by. I really appreciate it. We're
Hello.
just sitting here talking and telling people a little about the stories from 2019 that kind of shook us. Now, with that being said, do you want me to share the next video? So, because I got to go run and do what I got to do. And you
Sure.
could take over during this time.
Sure.
Okay. But I'll wait till you share your screen so I can put it up if you need that.
Oh, I'm sharing my next one. Is that right?
I don't have screen sharing stuff because I didn't prepare for that.
Uh-huh.
I
All
wasn't.
right.
I
Well, I'll tell
wasn't.
you what, before we talk about phrase, I will put up one that is a little closer to home for
Oh,
me.
yes, for you. Absolutely. I know about this, but maybe not as much as you do since it's closer to where you are. And that'll
Yeah.
probably be good for you to talk about when I'm not here.
Yeah, I know a little bit about it. I can't even remember the guy's name, but you know what? I don't want to give him notoriety. But
Yeah,
this
I
one
hear
is
you.
you guys will remember this earlier this year, the New Zealand attacks on the
Be
different
right
mosques.
back. Be right
Okay,
back.
can I play?
And we start with breaking news in Christchurch, New Zealand. There are reports that many people have been killed in shootings at 2 mosques.
Here are new pictures from the scene in Christchurch. In the first attack, a witness told police a man dressed in all black came into the mosque. Dozens of shots were heard and people were seen running away from it. And here's what the man who said he was one of the last people inside that mosque told reporters just minutes ago.
I was thinking that he must run out of bullets, you know. So what I did was basically waiting for that and praying to God, oh God, please, let this guy run out of bullets.
It's now 4 o'clock Friday afternoon in Christchurch. We're monitoring the situation and we'll have the latest for you as we get it in at kxan.com.
So yeah, that was really shocking. Soon after that, there were the attacks on. It was only a couple of weeks of the attacks on Sri Lanka as well, which was similar, with targeting the mosques. And we have a huge problem here with, as I think you guys do, with Mexican people and things like that. It's similar for us, Islamic people as well. There's a lot of racial um, attention, and the guy who did this was actually Australian. I want to say he was in Byron Bay, but that might be wrong. Someone else, Bridget, might know. I can't think of his name, but I don't really want to, because he had written this whole manifesto and put it online, about kind of like white supremacy and supporting Trump and all of this. So, you really didn't want to give him any notoriety.
I'm back.
Hi. So, yeah, this guy was Australian. He wouldn't have got away with this in Australia due to our gun laws changing in 1996. That's when Martin Bryant shot up Port Arthur in Tasmania. And after that, our gun laws really, really did change a lot. So he flew over to New Zealand, and it was only him. There wasn't anyone else helping him. But he was really sick in the head. I mean, putting out this manifesto and, quoting Trump and likening himself to Trump and white supremacy and all of this kind of stuff. So he'd done that prior to traveling over there.
Can I
And
can I just say
yeah,
something on this real quickly, please? And
mhm,
it's just
sure.
because I have many friends on both sides of the party,
Mhm.
and just because people are Trump supporters does not necessarily mean that
No.
they are racist. I just want to put that
Yeah,
out
no,
there.
I would put that disclaimer
I
out
am
there
not,
too. I'm not associating Trump with anything like that. I'm just saying that
I
is
have a
what.
lot of friends who are right
Mhm.
side, and they do
Yeah.
not. Number one, they
Support.
know
They don't
he's
support anything that he's done in this theory and this manifesto. No,
no.
no. I'm just saying he's very sick in the head. But this is how he was perceiving Trump and how
Right.
he was perceiving white supremacy. I definitely agree with you. I think that is a good disclaimer to put in. I'm by
I,
no means saying Trump equals, this or that. So,
And that is definitely a trigger. That
mhm,
name is a big trigger.
mhm,
And I personally, I've stopped watching the news because I can't stand it anymore.
mhm, yeah.
And
And it's not the first
politics makes me
manifesto.
disgusting.
It is not the first manifesto to be put out there by some crazy loon that links Trump
No,
to white
and
supremacy and all the rest of it. But it's not. It's just less about Trump and more about these people that they're very sick in the head. I would not advise going and reading these manifestos. They're quite disturbing. And
amen.
I won't give him the time of day. You know.
Amen, Linda K. Listening. She's like me too, and I know
Mhm.
that like I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Trump. Never have been. Never was.
Yeah.
I thought when he ran, oh my God, I can't believe I'm even talking about slightly bit of politics. I don't even talk about this crap. But the fact of the matter is that it's just over here. It's crazy land. It's just
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this in my whole history of the 45 years that I've been on this planet. Almost 45
Would
years.
you say that the United States has a big problem with Islamic kind of crimes related, not just slurs and things like that, but just like crime related?
Islam, it depends on who you talk to,
Mm.
really. You know,
It's bad.
there
It's bad here.
you are going to find your alt right, and just because they're left or right doesn't make them like what you call racist and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Because I know people who are alt right, and they're furthest thing I know from racist. And I've been a Democrat my whole life. I'm at a
Yep.
part in my life where I'm like, I'm libertarian. I don't know where the hell I fall in this country anymore
Hmm.
because I
Who
can't
does?
associate with anybody. That's just basically how I feel. I
Mm.
think everybody's crazy. I think Congress is crazy. I think Senate is crazy. I think if we don't realize that they're all trying to put us against each other, we all have to realize that that's what they do. That's what they do. They try to manipulate us to get them where they want to be. That's what
Yeah.
freaking politics is.
Hmm.
I mean, I was in politics enough to know how politics works.
You only need
I
to go online. I can't think of one of the things, but quite often I'll go in and watch the Senate. They'll do like public um, sessions and things like that. You only need to go in and watch a bit of that to know that
we need
what
to.
you did, yeah,
Uh,
what you said was true.
I would just say here in the United States, we need to find a reason to come back together
Hmm.
and just pull together as a nation. And I will tell you,
Making America great again is not enough of a slogan there to make that happen.
he tried. Here's the thing: the slogan with that comes from Ronald Reagan and back in
Yeah.
the 80s.
Hmm.
So he's saying he wants to be like Ronald Reagan.
Never be like Ronald Reagan. Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't say that either. But at the
Mm.
same time, a lot of people who are right winged, I don't put it this way. I don't even know. I don't agree with anything that's going on in this country at this moment. I really don't.
No,
That's just where
no,
it
it's
comes down
crazy.
to. I don't agree with anything. So I mean that's the truth. I'm not trying to take the safe road. I'm not trying to take the whatever road. I just don't
Hmm.
feel like I fit in this political climate that we have right now because
You would not be alone.
I'm not filled with hate. And that's
Yeah.
what everything is based with these days is hate. Hate this,
Hmm.
hate that. Cancel you, cancel him. And you
Hmm.
know what? Then you have people who are like Dave Chappelle and Eddie Murphy now who are coming out and showing, you know what? It's okay to laugh again. We're
Yeah.
okay to laugh again. And
Hmm.
like, honest to God, Saturday Night Live last Saturday was the best thing I've watched. I don't know in how long. It was the best thing I've seen in so long. Exactly. No hate.
It was great. The one with Eddie
Exactly,
Murphy
Linda.
was fabulous. It was absolutely
It
perfect.
was, and my husband, and the funny thing, we were at a party that night, and the whole time I'm at the party, I'm saying, um, we're all talking about it, and it's
Hmm.
like getting towards midnight, and we're already like, we're halfway in. Well, we're like, well, we DVR'd it, so we could stay here as long as we want to and then go back to it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right,
But
moving on. We go to Frazy.
let's go to Fraze.
Crazy. Phrasey.
The
I
crazy
like calling him
phrase.
Frazy. Crazy Phrasey.
The crazy phrases. That's what I can only go by what I hear about. And when it came to the phrases, I went to the number one source, which was Dad with a Phone.
Mm-hmm.
And when it came to the phrases case, you can't think of phrases without Dad with a Phone. You just can't. And
And again, what makes things garner, more attention and headlines over another? I mean, not
exactly.
not to, not to make this sound horrible, but it is another murder case. It's not. It's a man murders a woman. I mean, that happens every day.
Well,
But
here's
what,
here's
you know,
why. Here's why it took off. Because you had the story of Chris Watts in
true,
Colorado. That
true.
happened in August.
Mm-hmm.
This so happened to happen that following Thanksgiving, which was November. So that's
Yeah,
3 to 4 months. So that's not
yeah.
that far. So this
No.
was, oh my God, another
Well, everyone's
mother
still
in
talking about Watts, so
it's like a freaking phenomenon he is, and I can't stand it.
yeah,
And I was just as much as everybody else. I was pulled into Chris Watts just like everybody else.
yeah.
Why? Because we were scared. We were
Now I
like,
understand why that went
holy shit.
global.
How do we not know if
Yeah,
nobody else can see the fact that this guy's crazy? I've been married to him this year, and I've never. I'm sure she's
exactly.
seen it, but we don't have her to say
Perception.
anything. But she's had to see
I
something.
don't think she did. I really don't. I think if we could bring her back and ask her, I don't think Shanann would say that she had a clue. The you know,
I'm just not comfortable talking about her at all. I don't know what it is. I'm just not. I can't, like, because it's like something that needs to be put to rest. And the only way we put them to rest is if we just stop talking about it.
yeah.
It's just the way I feel about that story. It's like being connected to a devil, and I don't want to be connected to that story anymore. I really
Even
don't.
though he's not a serial killer, I guess it's different to being a mass murderer, or a family annihilator. I think as much as you hate it and as much as you want to stop talking about it, I think he's going to go in the books alongside
Oh, of course,
Bundy and
Ted
Dharma
Bundy,
and
Ted Bundy.
yeah, Bundy and Dharma, and then there's going to be Watts, even though he's not a serial killer per se.
But he
I think,
is.
well, he is, yeah,
He
yeah.
is.
He's killed more than three
Then
or
two
more
people.
people. Well, I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't, it depends who you talk to about two people being a serial killer, but some people subscribe to the theory that it's three or more. But yeah. Sorry, what was Linda saying? I didn't think like that before or after Chris Watts.
Right.
Yes,
No.
yes,
And
nobody did. Nobody did.
we
Nobody
would
questioned their husband.
we wouldn't have jumped down this guy Shane's throat if what
No.
we didn't see on TV from before. And that is
Right.
all of our fault. That is everybody's,
That's everyone's fault, and they need to take accountability for that.
including mine. I was like, there's something not right. And everybody, because it just, and this is what I said, and I said this on Jay for Justice. I said, we have to blame the media. The media did a very unprofessional interview with him to almost make it look like
he was
guilty.
Yeah. Now I put it up on my channel. The only thing I said about it is that his behaviour to me seemed odd. But other people are right out there going, yeah, he did it. Where's the baby? Blah 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 blah. Are they doing this as a stunt, a publicity stunt? Is she really okay with the baby? All of these kind of things came out, and you are exactly right. If not for Chris Watts and the breakdown of his TV interviews, the way they were, this wouldn't have happened. You wouldn't be seeing this
And
side-by-side juxtaposition of Chris Watts and Shane Carey.
and believe it or not, like I listened to Dad with the phone when he went through this on his phone, like on his channel.
Yep, and he would
and
not.
and he was like, this is a man who's in grief. This
Yes.
isn't a man. And he went, and there's other people who took it step by step as well. But guess what? The same videos that they used aren't the same. Like they're completely different, like chopped up videos to make you think it's one long continuous where they're completely chopped up. But like the fact that the fact that he had his collar still tucked in and the cameraman didn't even fix that, sloppy, just sloppy. That's just sloppy work. And that's someone that, and that's what they do for a living, to make sure everything they see in that camera is perfect. Don't tell me that the ABC did not know to tell him to pull that collar out. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that. And I only know this. I worked in freaking media. I know the way people angle it. Bullshit.
Now to be having the questions asked on a mobile phone, to be like, it's YouTube quality.
That was even more disgusting, that he had to answer a woman who was on a freaking phone by the side of his leg. I was like,
I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely. How did we get into that? Jeez.
Yeah, I'm just reading what Linda K put. She said the public blew up Chris Watts. Yeah, and that's true. I think a lot of people were freaked out to the point like they were afraid that who they were living with wasn't a Chris Watts.
For the first time, it made us question.
Like the person.
Do we really know? Do we really know the person that we've, shared our life with for the last, well, for me, 11 years? It's like, do you really know?
And I'm sorry, and because I read some of the book. You read all of the book, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I didn't pay for it. I refused to pay for Kayla's
writing.
Horrible.
Horrible, right? I wasn't like the best journalist by no means, and
I could write better than that.
Doesn't flow.
No,
it was
all over the place.
Sloppy.
The editor needed a big slap, whoever she was.
I'm sorry. I just shake my head at all this, because so much of it is the way media wants you to perceive something. And I'm realizing that more and more. And like I said, I worked in the media. I remember though, like, well, that's not how we're running with this narrative. And they would say stuff like that. And back in like 2002, 2001, you didn't know what that meant. Like, that wasn't like something that we talked at, like, narrative. You're running with a narrative, like.
Yeah, and now with the introduction of true crime shows and channels, and being able to watch trials and things like that, we now have the introduction of the court of public opinion, and in that, Shane was guilty as fuck.
Yep. You just cursed on my channel, you bitch.
Sorry.
Hey. You bitch.
So we were talking about Crazy
Frazee. See, that's why you're here, to bring us back to where we were.
No, and did we think Kelsey Vera sort of, I know he's no Chris Watts, but did Kelsey Vera notice, any signs or anything like that? I wonder.
I'm sure there were signs, but that never made her think that it was. She was
that he would
dealing with a killer that was
you look at
to
you look at that day. You look at that day. They go to Safeway, and I've got the photos there. I can't put them up. She made cinnamon rolls, and she was going to cook him a nice dinner, and everything.
I thought, wasn't it that they were supposed to go to his mom's house for Thanksgiving?
All right, that's right.
She was making it for his mom's house.
Right, that's right. And she bought the poinsettia.
He wound up blindfolding her, telling her to smell scented candles. Fucking bastard. Took a bath. Ugh. Just the thought. it just disgusts. Like it's hard for me to even discuss this. This is why I'm like, I don't know if I could do true crime. I can't even say it out loud,
Yeah, I know.
and it
That's
turns
why
my
I have to
stomach.
break. That's why I have to break the channel up sometimes with just some fun stuff or whatever, because it just gets too much.
It does, and you're right, and you're absolutely right. The true crime does become too much, where you just go, I don't
Hmm.
care. I'm just gonna watch everything funny I possibly can for like the next like week or so, because the
Yeah,
true crime becomes too much.
it
It
does.
does.
It does. Um, can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, well, we've got
Back to
Crystal.
Frazee.
Well, we've got Crystal Kenny's hearing now. I don't know if this is coming up. Is this her sentencing on the 2nd of December?
No, no, she hasn't been sentenced yet.
No, but she is supposed to front up to court on the 2nd of December.
Well, no, because it's the end of December now.
Thanks, Linda. Sorry, not the 2nd of December, the 2nd of January. Where am I? Jeez.
Like, I don't know. I'm like, it's December now. I don't think it's going to be a year from now.
Hang on, sorry, 2nd of January. So I don't know if that's her sentencing. So clear, like
If she's supposed to be showing, I don't know what the date is, to be
yeah,
honest. But if she's
someone here
showing,
knows.
Crystal Kenny sentencing in January.
Yeah,
So
January 2nd.
no.
Nope.
January
No.
the 28th at 9 a.m.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, we'll be there, and
January the
it will
28th
be.
at 9 a.m.
I do hope that Dan May can find some sort of loophole or whatever that would give her more than 3 years. And I'll tell you, there's going to be a big uproar if they only give her the 18 months and they don't give her the other 18 months for, what is it?
Unfortunately, that's the deal that they made. That's the deal they made.
Deal with the
And like,
devil.
and that's what he said. He said, I had to make the deal with the devil in order to
But see,
really get the devil,
if
like
she,
the lesser
if,
of two evils, I
yeah,
guess.
it's way less though. 3 years should be out, and in, I don't know, 80% of that. So,
I know, but what can you do? I mean, if we didn't have her testimony, if we
mm,
didn't have her testimony, this guy probably wouldn't be going to jail.
yeah.
I don't know that for a fact,
No, yeah, I
but
know.
I can only assume that if we didn't have her testimony, because that's exactly how the prosecution felt, who did get him accused of being guilty without a body, like he constantly said to everybody
Mm.
else, no body, no crime.
Yeah,
Bull,
he was so confident in that, telling that
bullshit.
to his
And
friend.
how stupid are you
Yeah.
to even say that? Like, that's a stupid criminal in my mind. If you're going to be a criminal,
Yeah.
like, don't freaking. No, because you know what? If he didn't say this shit, if he didn't say it, then we wouldn't have this information to use against him. So we have
And
to
we
be a
have
little bit
we
happy at the fact that he's a really stupid person.
and we
So,
have his notes, his hit list notes from jail. I mean,
well, yes,
that
but
was that was a
there,
huge thing with the trial. That was the bomb they dropped.
but the person who came out with a lot of that information was Dad with a phone, and Dad with a phone also said, like, sometimes pulling in the prison rat isn't
Hmm.
always your best bet. Sometimes that's
No.
the desk. He said
You need
sometimes
to
it's
look
a
at what they're
desperate.
getting in. Yeah, you need to look at what they're getting in return. But I
But
believe that those letters have been
oh yeah.
analysed by a handwriting
You are
expert. And
you
it
are
is.
you are
You know,
1,000% right. You are absolutely. They got it. That's why they pulled them in. They got it
Linda, you haven't
analyzed.
seen the
They got.
notes. Wow. I wish we could put them up. Yeah, hit list.
They were on. Yeah, the hit list consumed Crystal Kenny. I believe Kelsey's mother was on there.
Yep.
Um,
Let
who
me
are
see if
the
I can
other?
make them out. I can probably make them out.
Here, just share the screen, and then I can share it with you. I'm not that good at the sharing screen crap.
No, I'm not
I've got to learn how to do that.
good at it either. Hang on.
Linda Kay, can I just say you're freaking awesome for just hanging in there with us? You're the best. Let me just tell you. Love you, darling. And I love watching her. I had her on my channel like the beginning of the summer, and we haven't had like anything since. You should definitely bring her on your channel too.
Yes, yeah. Next year I want to interview a whole heap of people and do collabs, and
And
we're gonna work. Ginger and I are gonna work together a lot more.
you know, you know,
Um,
you know who are a great duo together at True Crime? Can I tell you? Paul from Reporting Live from My Sofa and Awin Rees. They are phenomenal. I don't know if you ever put them on.
no.
They are phenomenal. Like they're so good at just bringing up like, and Paul's so good at bringing up like the juicy details. I love Paul. He just makes me smile. And
All
it was
right.
so funny because somebody sent him tasty cakes, which are from my area,
I love those.
right? I know
When
you
we
do.
went to
I
Aldi,
know.
you're like, you have to get these. And I'm like, okay.
I always am like, you have to get some tasty cakes. And somebody
Okay,
sent
I'm
them
sharing
down to
my
me.
whole screen, but
Oh, here
and
we
so
go.
I'm going blind because I only have one, but I think this might work.
This is it. Yep. 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 Hold
Yeah.
on. Let me see. Can I pull this up
So
even closer? There you go. Woohoo.
there we are. So this is just one of them, of his notes from prison. So what's it say? Flush when you're done. Yeah, like you're gonna flush the evidence. Jeez. You, you know where to find Crystal Jean Kenny Lee? Question mark. Chad Lee. Now I think that was Crystal's ex-husband.
Ex-husband.
Michelle Stein. I don't know who that is. Joe Moore and Wendy Clark. I'm not sure who those people are.
I'm surprised Michael Dalton isn't on this list.
That was so funny.
Surprised. Very
D-Wop.
surprised.
You should edit this and put D-Wop in. Side idea. Cheryl Barrett, so that's Kelsey's mom.
Yep.
What's that next one? Look, Kiol ID.
I have no idea what that
Shell
says.
something. Neat.
These are just these. This says side John, so I think this is just side notes to him, like
Right.
maybe.
And
Yes,
how she can also. They all underline
dude,
need
his
to
writing sucks. I can't even read it. I'm like, or I'm
they
just
all
blind like
need
a
to
bat.
disappear unseen till at least November 22nd after the trial. Wendy Clark is the cash cow. Joe has all kinds of shit to sell. My mum's cell number, and that's redacted. Um, Pass a message to her via text or call, use a fake name, that all the horses are taken care of, or have her tell me that the elk hunt was successful. That's his code for.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because to think that old Ma wasn't
Yeah,
behind shit.
yeah,
This makes me laugh out loud. And I haven't seen this. So this
I
is the
know.
first time.
Yeah,
So this is my full reaction to.
yeah. Help,
And
help me, please, man. I repay, however, my life and my little girl's life depends on you.
oh my God.
Throw me down your plans, ideas. All right, you ready for the next one? There's more. Just
I
need.
listen. I can't read, so I'm just listening to you. So
All right,
I'm
this
just
one
listening.
is on toilet paper or a napkin.
Right.
So
Oh, I
they
see it.
aren't they
Oh.
aren't too far from Resland or the desert. BLM of Northern Nevada. I don't know what BLM stands for. It'd be
Maybe
nice.
bottom
Oh,
left. Bottom left.
BLM
Oh,
of
BL.
Northern Nevada.
Well,
Anyone know?
this guy is nuts. Help me. Come on, dude. Help me. I'm reading what Linda
Yeah,
Kay saying. She's hysterical.
yeah.
That's and I'm not laughing because this is funny by no means. I'm
No,
laughing because the fact that like, how did you not think? You have one of the biggest cases, and
yeah,
he just went, who the hell's going to care about her? And that's kind of what he said. He's like, And he's like, I had no idea it would be bought up this big. Really,
Yeah.
dude?
And
A
he's put the
guy
date
just
down. He's put the date down. This has to be taken care of before November 22nd. You know?
unreal. Like,
This
no,
next one. This next one. It should say it'd be, but it says, I'd be nice if she disappeared and didn't show up for a trial. Just turned one way and was never seen again. Any ideas? I think he's talking about Crystal there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay.
But just, oh my God, what the balls. I guess he figured if he paid everybody off in pizza every Saturday night, nobody would tell on him.
Mhm.
Yeah, and by the way, that pizza has actually gained some weight on him.
Mhm.
I saw that picture, by the way, of him recently
Yeah.
being moved. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No more pizza night for Mr. Freezy anymore.
No. All right, next
No.
one. I'd find her husband and snag his phone or watch him. The kids will stay between mum and dad. A lot of res and open space, 2 hours away. Plenty of space for whatever you hopefully can get. I can't get that word. Last word.
It's so I don't know. The fact of the matter is that this guy is so freaking guilty.
I mean,
It's so disgusting. And the fact of the matter is he just kept his freaking mouth shut.
I can't believe you guys haven't seen
I'm
that.
glad I'm glad that he didn't get away with this. Don't get me wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
he's just a stupid criminal. Stupid.
Yeah, I know. Okay, next one. Oh, or go to her husband's house with a pizza and a gun,
No.
make him talk, then dump him out in the desert.
Oh.
So let's say he's talking about Chad there. Yeah.
Oh. Oh. I'm telling you, I haven't seen this before.
There we
I'm
go.
blown
Miss Murder brings the goods
away.
to ya.
Oh my God, I'm totally blown away by this. Holy shit. Wow.
And you know, no
and
one
you
knew about this until the trial, and then
and
the
you
prosecution just dumped it out and went, "Whoa!"
and he handed this to a guy who's
Yeah,
a criminal
yeah.
next to him in the cell, knowing that this is the biggest murder case in the country at the moment, and he's not going to use this against you, you dumb schmuck.
Yeah, that's why I say it does. Yeah, I know that you can't always trust.
Pizza and shooting all in one, right, Linda?
Yeah.
You're getting more for what you pay for. Oh my God. I'm
right.
blown away by this. I'm
Next
totally
one.
blown away.
Hey, we're not done.
Oh,
He was
good
busy
Lord.
bee writing in jail on his toilet paper.
And we haven't gotten to our biggest story yet.
No
But
weapon.
That's okay. Keep going.
No weapon. No body. No forensics. But with the help of the DP, they are catching her out. The detective of the can't read that.
I see
Trial
evidence for her. Evidence
for her to give lying statements to match up. Doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Do you not make sense of that?
Well, let's think. If you're in, a jail cell by yourself in a jail like Teller County, maybe your brain's going sideways, which I would probably think is the case. And
Maybe.
I think his brain's gone sideways. But the fact of the matter is, I don't know if his brain was fully straight on. That's
To begin
the
with.
thing. Yeah.
No.
Nope.
Do we have more? Oh look, here's another one. Oh no, that's the flush shoe.
Linda goes, no more pizza for me, period, LOL. Don't worry, I promise, Linda, I will never be sending pizza to your house with a gun. If I would send pizza, I would send it with pepperoni.
This is a different one. Okay. Flash this after you copy what notes you need.
Are
I'm
you
sure
kidding me?
I'm sure she's around family somewhere. He's talking about Crystal here.
I get that. I get that. Yep.
I'm sure she's keeping as low as possible, a low as profile as possible because everyone is watching her.
Nope, not really.
No. She'll
No.
be in. Can you help me with this? She'll be in contact
I
or
can't
around.
hold on real quick. You're getting a much bigger picture than I am, so I
Okay.
cannot see this with my own eyes. That's for dang sure.
Let me zoom in. Is that better?
What's going on with my light? Oh, I see. I'm like, what just happened here? My cord came out. Hold on. I don't want to lose you.
Is that better, guys?
There we go. Much better.
And I'll just scroll down. All right, we know what we're doing now. We can do things with pictures. So what's this third one? She'll be in contact or around her kids for sure. They are like 5 and 7, give or take, boys and girls. That is so creepy.
Not that I didn't think he was already a piece of shit, but like he's the scum of the bottom of what's on the bottom of pieces of shit. Like,
oh my God.
Like he's disgusting.
The kids and their ages.
And you know what? He was, and everybody made him out to be this handsome, good-looking fella. To me, I thought he was kind of creepy-looking in my own.
I didn't think he was handsome.
No, but there are some pictures. If you honestly go and look, and you want to look up some Patrick Frazee pictures that are the ones. He's not ugly, but he's not an attractive dude by no means.
I thought Chris Watts was more attractive.
Yeah, I did too. But even Chris, I hate that name. But even him, even as a plumper dude, wasn't that bad. But then, like, you got chiseled and you got crazy in the head. Just bonkers. Bonkers.
He ends that bit with just an idea, maybe. If you could get a hold of her and get her to call her attorney or the DA or an FBI, CBI investigator and confess in her own words or even a text. He's trying to set her up. What do you think? Or just let her go away? We need to keep everything on the DL, down low. No ties nowhere. I know her husband knew where she's at. My belief is she's staying at her dad's, but not for sure. They watch all my videos and calls, so if you use my phone, you have to talk about your business only. Don't mention me at all. Your calls on my phone. Your calls are on my phone.
Called your old lady.
At about 9:30, told her to come get you ASAP so you could get back home and back to work and show the courts you were a good guy and a hard worker.
Oh.
I know, right?
Whoa. Like, I didn't read these, and I don't know if anybody else put these up because I never read them. Or I didn't hear them, maybe because I'd found out that something else was going on during that time that I've already told you. That I stopped ignoring this case for a slight little bit, and then this might have been the part that I might have missed. And whoa, and I'm blown away because I started what did
this is the description of Crystal Kenny, maiden name, Lee, married name.
And he put 190 pounds?
Yeah. Kimberly ID. Dad lives there. Hanson ID.
Bruh. It says bruh ID. What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sitting here like twirling my hair because I don't even know what to do.
I
Oh
know there's some missing
my.
from here. I don't know why they're loading, but
And I'm surprised because I was so into this trial that I haven't seen these letters whatsoever.
yeah,
That's
right.
insane to me. Wow.
Okay, this one was printed out on a table, so I'm going to go right in. I know from
Holy.
discovery and evidence that they were both in contact and that she herself tried to hire a hit person, solicit, what is that word?
Where are we at? Contact and she herself tried to hire a hit person, solid
What is that word?
it looks like Tatien.
Does he mean tactician?
I don't know. I
I
also
also know,
know the DA has scripted her on details to give her statements that match up with evidence that they help put words in her mouth.
interesting.
Unreal. I can blow it up, I can read it.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Okay.
Hang on.
That's enough for me to convict him. Oh my God. No wonder because I can remember Dad with the phone was like, "Oh, it must be really bad. It must be really bad if they're bringing in the jailhouse rat to."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and at that point, we just didn't know, is this going to happen or is this not going to happen?
Yeah.
And wow,
I wonder
just
when they got these.
wow. No, they got them like literally during the trial
That's
because
crazy.
yeah, because there was a surprised witness, and I remember because I don't know if you watched Dad with the phone, but he was in the courthouse, and
Mm.
he was in there with Patrick Frazie's mom, old Ma,
Mm-hmm.
and this woman who found him sought him out, sat down across from old Ma, who's like,
Mm-hmm.
Dad with a phone. Let me just tell you that my daughter used to date Mr. Patrick Frazee, like trying to really reel in old Ma. And boy, did
Mm-hmm.
she do a phenomenal job, from what I hear. And
Yeah.
and I was like, God, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to see that shit happen. But Mike got to see it happen. So I'm just saying, like that's a great story. I mean, it's not a great story that
No, no.
happened, but if you have to come out with a story and that and everything that came out that Mike put out
Mm-hmm.
was literally so open, like you could see how crazy this family really was, and
Oh yeah.
that the brother was the head of the Teller County Department was made it even scarier for me because I
Mm-hmm.
have friends who are in police departments who would never do this shit, and I'm just like, oh, and to my friends who are cops, I'm sending this story. I'm like, I don't know if you knew the story. And
Mm-hmm.
normally they're more into their own stories where the shit is going on, where they're working than they are what's going around on the nation. But
Yeah.
they knew about this and they were just like, this is crazy. Absolute. And this is Philadelphia police cops
Mm-hmm.
telling me how
Right.
crazy this is.
Oh
That
yeah.
just goes for Philadelphia police, like, and because you were like, "Ooh, I'm scared of Philly." I'm like, are you out of your mind? Like, there's nothing to be afraid about in Philadelphia.
Oh no, it was just the books I was reading about sex trafficking in like Camden and
Well, Camden's Jersey.
Oh, is it? No, this was in Philly. What was the other one?
Kensington.
Kensington. That's it.
Good Lord, nobody goes to Kensington.
Mhm.
Nobody goes to Kensington willingly. Nobody. No one I know, at least, unless they have a job there. And even then, and not only that, like my mom, my someone in my family had a funeral home down there, and I would sometimes have to go down there just for the. I would be like, oh crap. This was before it became the heroin place of the world that it is right now, which I'm hoping that they're looking to change that, which is a good thing. But
Hey,
Kensington,
Jay. Mr. J.
who's there?
Sorry, I was listening to you, but just saying hi to hanging with Mr.
Ah,
J.
hanging with Mr. J. What's up, Mr. J? I love Mr. J. He's always he's one of the best. And Mr. Shadow Knight was in here earlier. Totally missed him then, because
Mhm.
we were deep into conversation about whatever we were talking about. And
Yes.
I think honestly, when he came in, we were talking about the Bucks County murders,
Mhm.
and you know me, I'm just going to try to be very focused on that because there's a lot of stuff I don't want to say.
Mhm.
But
I know. All right, I got another clip for you.
but
Moving on.
wait. When are we going to start talking about Epstein? Because that's the big one.
I think we leave that to last.
Well, okay. Where we
You
are?
wanna?
Where are we
Well,
at now?
I got another one for you. Here we go.
Oh, I gotta put you up. Sorry.
Thank you.
There you go. Amber Geiger. Oh God, yes. I almost forgot about Amber Geiger.
For a former Dallas police officer convicted of murder. Yesterday, Amber Geiger was found guilty in the death of both of them. John, she shot and killed John while he was in his own apartment unit. Geiger claims she thought she entered her own apartment, mistook him for an intruder. During witness testimony, Geiger's mother recalled the moments after the shooting.
She was very upset. I couldn't understand her. When she first told me, I couldn't understand her because she was crying so hard.
After the sentence, John's brother hugged Geiger in the courtroom and told her that he forgave her.
Wah. What do we think about Geiger? 10 years, not enough.
It's just shady all around because the fact of the matter is you're sober, you went to the wrong floor, you don't have a red mat in front of your door, you walked in the house that really doesn't really look nor smell like your house, but yet you
Yeah.
walked in and you shot a gun. Can't support that whatsoever at all. No, nothing.
No, and how crazy was it that Botham Jean's brother was able to hug Amber Geiger and say that he forgives her?
Now, here's a question: were you still here when that happened, or did you go? Were you at home? I think you were
No,
still.
this
You were here.
was I?
I think you were. You were here.
I was
Yes.
there from October 9th to November 15th.
And I believe that was in between that time. I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure.
Linda, I'm sure will tell me if I'm wrong. But and it played it off. Oh, I just got some information for our next story. Oh my God. It just popped up and I was like, oh, Jeffrey Epstein's case, FBI investigation on Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ooh.
Uh,
You've just
what's
ruined the
it?
surprise
Just
of our last one. Is this our 10th one?
no,
I think we're missing a couple.
no. I want to touch on this one because this one absolutely needs to be touched on because this
Yes.
was a sore spot for a lot of people in America. It was a sore spot because there's a lot of people who either don't like the cops or there's a lot of people who support the cops or there's people and see this I believe in so many ways is not your average story on what people say is the cops. I don't know. And I'm only, I guess I'm thinking out loud because to me, it didn't seem like she meant it. But at the same time, there's no way that she didn't. Like, there's a
Mm-hmm.
part in my head that goes, but wait, she seems so sorry. But no, there's everything that points to you that she had to know that this wasn't her apartment. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't, there's something in my head that just doesn't wrap around this story because it's not because I want to think that she's innocent. It's just that she seems to be so sorry for what she did. And
I mean,
that
I felt her, yeah, at times. I felt her
but
sorrow
see,
and that. But when on cross examination, the and this is what I believe undid her is that they got her to admit that she intended to shoot.
yes, that's the biggest.
And
And she
I
did
think that
intend to
is
shoot.
that was the undoing, that she
Exactly.
admitted that herself.
Mhm. Mhm. You're absolutely right. And she could she just picked such a good guy, and that's what
Oh, I know.
oh, it just that story breaks me up a lot. It really does. Cuz it's I know people on both sides of each spectrum where they both have been, and yeah, it's like a last minute call that a lot of police officers will tell you that you got to just click that in your head, either yes or no, because you don't know whether or not it's going to happen. But she was wrong on so many levels that she needed to speculate, look around if that's really where she was. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, that's why she's in jail for what she's doing, because she did the wrong thing.
Hmm.
She did the wrong thing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it's just like these days, like it's heartbreaking on so many levels because it's like as me as a person, I can't go, oh well, this is what will make it easier because it
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
sometimes as a person, but she said she was going to shoot. Exactly. That's my problem with the whole scenario, Linda, is
Yeah.
that she said she wanted to shoot. She was
Hmm.
going to shoot. She meant to shoot this guy, and she was not aware of where she was. And
Yeah.
that's the problem. Like,
Mm.
how do you do that?
Yeah.
How
I
do
don't.
you
I
do
don't.
that?
I don't know. I don't.
She made she needed more time in prison. Anywhere else would have gotten her life. She honestly, anywhere else could have gotten her dead and gotten her killed for what she did
Mhm.
to somebody else.
Yeah.
The honest to God, that's the
Had she
truth.
not been a cop in Texas, she could have very easily got the death penalty.
Absolutely, especially in Texas, especially, and that's the problem. There is when it comes to cops, people, oh, well, they got to make this judgment call. When necessarily you look at someone like Patrick Frazie's brother and you go, not all cops are good. And they're
You
not.
know, and in Texas in particular, there's the old boy system, the buddy system of buddying up with the district attorney or the Texas Rangers. Now I'm going to cover the Horaney murder in Texas and just show you how corrupt some of the Texas Rangers are. So that will be interesting.
Oh, so are you tackling that right now?
I am going to be
All
doing that
righty.
probably in the new year.
Oh, in the new year. You're not doing it right now?
I know, no, no,
Okay.
not now.
I was like, oh, she's going to go tackle this one. Okay.
Yes, call out a few Texas Rangers, you know.
Hanging with Mr. Gay. Did Amber Geiger got 20 years, correct?
10.
10. She got 10 years. Not enough in my eyes. Nope. Nope, not at
Nowhere
all.
near. Nowhere near. If you look at the Roy Oliver case, these are other cops, and I think Roy Oliver got 40 years, don't quote me on that, but, and Van Dyke in Chicago, he got a lot more than 10 years.
I'll tell you what. Can I say something, not to like completely get off the subject here, but I do
Hmm.
want to, because if it wasn't for Linda Kay, I would not know about this story as well as I do now.
Mhm.
Her and I spoke. I think this was in May when we spoke, and she's like, "Do me a favor, watch this documentary on Netflix," and it just came out, and it was the documentary of the Central Park Five.
I haven't watched that.
Holy, I never knew the story. I never really knew the story, and I watched that. I was in the hospital, and I
Mm,
bawled like a baby for these guys.
yeah.
I was I'm like, how can our justice system be this corrupt?
Mhm.
I couldn't believe what I was watching. And at the same time, I knew this was correct. I knew this is what happened because I remembered the story, but I just never had someone tell me the story in the way that it was told on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Mhm.
And it and she's just like, watch it, and I did, and it was the most heartbreaking, scary, sad story that I've seen in a really long time. And it broke my heart to know that I lived in a time that actually was a part of that. That makes me disgusted.
Mhm.
I just wanted to add that in.
Yeah, I know.
Linda, I was living in Philadelphia at the time, and I was young. I was a kid. I wasn't even 10. So I didn't know very much about the story until I watched it, and I was like, wow. Just wow.
The last one I watched was Don't F with Cats. I don't know if you've watched it.
Nope.
So yeah, there was a YouTuber who was putting up killing kittens and stuff
Oh my
and
God.
graduating to humans, and all the like true crime people and stuff on the internet and that found out who he was.
This is
It's
a real
awesome.
this
It
is
is
a
awesome.
this is a
Yeah.
real story?
Yes, on
No,
Netflix. Don't F with, you know what the F word is? Don't
yeah,
F
I don't
with
think I want to watch
cats.
that. I don't think I even want to
I had
watch
to
that.
turn away. I had to
Nope.
turn away. I couldn't
Nope.
watch these
I
YouTube
don't want to
videos.
watch that.
But they track
Ah,
like us, like all our channels and stuff like that. They tracked him down and did the police's job, and found out who he was, and yeah.
wow. Crazy.
But he would graduate from animals like a lot of serial killers do to humans.
Linda said yes. So if she was in her 20s, I was probably like 9 or 10 myself. So like I graduated in 1993 from high school. So I don't know what year exactly, but I know that was in the 80s. And in the 80s, New York was not known for being the best place in the world to go to.
Mm.
It was so sad, Linda. That was awful, and I actually appreciate you bringing that to my attention because that's something sad. I had no idea that even happened, so I appreciate you bringing that to my attention.
Mm. Who are we missing besides
Epst-
Epstein?
let's
No, there
Epst-
was. Hang on. I'm going back to where.
I only have room for one more
Oh,
story in my head.
Olive Blanche Julos.
Who?
Uh,
Oh, Doulos.
Fotis Julos,
Fotis Doulos.
Anaya Blanchard,
Oh.
Maria Alvarez,
All right.
and
Well,
Epstein.
Well, we already talked about Anaya Alvarez.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, and so let's just quickly do
Go.
Fotustulos because that's
Yep.
going to come into the new year, and
Mhm.
then let's
And then
do
we'll end with Epstein.
Epstein, and then we are out because
Yep.
you know what?
Yeah. It
Get
is
can,
so draining.
can you two talk for real quick? 'Cause I really have to run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right
Yeah.
back.
Yep. No
Okay,
worries.
I'm
I
gonna
don't know
hit
much
mute.
about the Julos case.
Oh, and then I will be right back. Okay.
Okay. All right. I'll just read chat. So yeah, we thought that we would start. We haven't really worked out a plan yet, but we thought that we would alternate between channels and do more true crime stuff together in 2020. But on, when is it going to be? When have I scheduled it? Sunday night, 7 Central Time, I think. We are going to discuss the Gauthier case, the missing man from Texas in 2015. I will again play the police tapes in regards to him missing. His car was found at the top of the Rainbow Bridge at like 10:30 at night, and I think the car was running and his shoes were there, I think, and yeah, he was just gone. So the police had changed it from missing persons to a homicide. His wife was listed as a suspect. I'd have to look into that a little bit more and see if she still is, but I'll give you that information on Sunday night, 7 Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern, wherever you may be. And that will be, it'll be about 11 a.m. Monday for Australia, for Queensland. Remember, we're not on daylight savings, so we're an hour behind Southern States, an hour and a half behind Adelaide, I believe. No, they haven't found him, Linda. So, you know, so I put pictures up of this Rainbow Bridge. A lot of people go there to commit suicide. And so that was the first, you know, like consensus and that from the police that he had jumped. But they never found him. They had, you know, searched with dogs and all sorts of stuff. But he had never been found, and they did change the status of it. Now I'm not sure why they changed. They thought it was. Oh, sorry, just dropped my mic. Not too sure why they decided it was homicide. But
I'm
I can find
back.
out. I'm just gonna let my dog out.
I'm back. You there? Did she run away? No, she ran away. Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that.
It's all good. All good, all good. I wasn't sure what you were doing at first. I'm like, what is she doing?
I was just babbling.
So you don't know too much about photos doulos, do you?
I do not. I did not follow this case.
Why, he, to me, might be the biggest POS that there might be out there. I'm not sure.
Really?
I'm not, I think he might be. I think he might get the lying piece of shit card of the night. I don't know. I'm not sure. There's a lot of lying piece of shits out there tonight that we're talking about.
I know. They might just share the award.
But this award, because of what, and this is the thing, this might get him in more trouble than he realizes, is that he said something during the holiday break right before, like, he was in court, and he has a gag order.
Oh.
And he broke that gag order outside court. So this was right before the holidays, so we really don't know what's going on with this or not. So, with this being said, this all started, let me see what the time of this murder started, because I'm not 1,000% sure on this. Here we see. Happened in Hartford, I think it's Hartford, Connecticut. It was in Connecticut for sure.
Okay.
Fotis Doulos was an estranged husband of Jennifer Farber Doulos, who police believe played a role in her disappearance, wants a judge to dismiss his divorce case so he can take fight over guardianship of the couple's 5 children in juvenile court.
Oh, wow.
Shortly before Thanksgiving, a probate judge removed both Fotis and Jennifer Farber Doulos from guardians of their children and legally turned custody of them over to their grandmother, Gloria Farber, which is Jennifer Doulos' mother.
Mm-hmm.
According to a 7-page motion filed Thursday, Doulos' attorney, Richard, whatever his name is, who cares, Doulos has not seen his children since Jennifer Doulos disappeared in May, which was May of this year. Has made it clear he is hoping to regain custody of his children by appealing the probate court ruling of the to juvenile court. The
Good luck.
the hearings were held behind closed doors without Doulos present. In his motion, Rochlin said that the Doulos is appealing the probate court ruling of juvenile court where a hearing is scheduled on January the 9th.
Right. So we'll have to
Doulos
watch
intends
that.
to seek access to his children in the juvenile probate court and is prepared for full evidentiary hearing in support of the same. Yeah, there's no way. I mean, this guy told everybody in the court system that his wife was one of those type of Gone Girl authors and was writing another Gone Girl.
Okay.
Do you know the story of Gone Girl?
No.
Story of Gone Girl is that it makes it look like the husband is guilty of murdering his wife when she actually ran away.
Right.
Right. So that's what he's trying to say she did, and it's not true. It's very not true. And they have all the evidence, so I really don't know what it is that they're waiting for. And he's tried to gain access to the girlfriend who has helped him, and he knows, and he has really pushed forward trying to gain access to this girlfriend who helped him, that we believe disposed of his body, that we all believe. Yeah, right, Gone Girl. Exactly. Like, come on. Like, even Gone Girl's a little too absurd for anybody to even think about. What this woman would have no reason to do that. There's the difference. No reason whatsoever. Hence the Gone Girl explanation. Because apparently she didn't have a reason to do it. But yeah, this guy is so full of shit. His eyes are browner than you can even imagine. It's unreal. Like, he is so full of crap. And then at the holidays, when the Christmas was right around the corner, he just said, I would like to wish a very Merry Christmas to Jennifer and her family. So, so he made it seem like she was still alive.
Yeah.
When in fact, we all know with evidence that has been supported, he's guilty as sin.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Well, we're going to have to keep an eye out on that in the new year. So it looks like January is going to be interesting then with Julos and then Kenny. And
so let's get to the last but not least, of course.
Right.
The man in the box.
Let me grab a video for you.
The dead man. Which I'm not necessarily sure what's better, if he was dead or if he was alive. Like, I don't know. But I don't believe he committed suicide. No one can make me believe he committed suicide. Because guess what, y'all? He did not commit suicide. Just in case you don't know, he did not commit suicide.
So what's that, Peggy?
So this is what you have with Epstein?
Yeah, I'm going to play this clip, and then you can give us that new information on the FBI.
Well, I will also inform you of, because I know a lot that's going on with which I'm sure everybody else knows, is the oil royals with the royals and Epstein, and the Clintons and Epstein. So let's get to that after we watch this.
Ta-da.
The investigation into the death of accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein is expanding.
And there is an intense focus on the federal facility where he was being held. Craig Boswell live on Capitol Hill this morning with the latest on that. A lot of questions about this, Craig.
Yeah, John and Sally, good morning. Good morning, everyone. The Attorney General blasted the federal facility where Epstein was found dead. Now members of Congress are demanding answers too.
The federal jail in New York, where 66-year-old accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein apparently hanged himself Saturday morning, is under intense scrutiny.
You're now learning of serious irregularities at this facility that are deeply concerning.
As the Attorney General vows to get to the bottom of Epstein's death, lawmakers question the termination of Epstein's suicide watch. It's among many questions outlined in a letter to the Federal Bureau of Prisons. And NBC News has learned Epstein's cell was not checked every 30 minutes as required.
I think we're going to find that there was a series of inappropriate procedures followed that were a violation of their own policies.
While the Justice Department and the FBI dig deeper into the correctional center, investigators raided Epstein's private Caribbean island off the coast of St. Thomas. Epstein is accused of trafficking girls as young as 14 for sex.
They're asking for any additional victims who have not yet come forward to continue to come forward.
The victims deserve justice, and they will get it.
Despite Epstein's death, the case against any co-conspirators and possibly his estate continues.
Lawmakers also want to know how long officers had been at work when Epstein's body was discovered. John and Sally, back to you.
Craig Boswell in Washington, thank you very much.
There we go.
But, you know, it goes a lot deeper than just what we saw in that clip, because we go as deep as the Royals, the Clintons, whomever. Yeah. I mean, you go all the way as far back as Nickelodeon people who were attached to this guy, and it's just freaking creepy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's creepy as all get out. And, you know, here we always thought sex trafficking was a conspiracy theory. It wasn't a real thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, well, yeah, we were wrong, obviously. And then when we realized it was a real thing and everything was moving forward in this country the way it was, and then you had Jeffrey Epstein, who was like, all right, everybody wanted to see his head on a platter. Let's put it this way. Nobody really wanted to see this guy live through. But then when you get killed, or you perceivably get killed in front of people, and no matter what people are constantly saying, no matter how ridiculous it sounds, they're still sticking to the truth, or what they say is their truth.
I uncovered a sex trafficking ring investigating Lauren Thompson's case. Women started coming forward and telling me their stories.
I can't say that again.
Women were coming forward and telling me their stories about this same group of men.
And there's still more women as of yesterday still coming forward. I mean, this story is so deep, and I'm sure so many people are so afraid to even come forward because this guy was so powerful that no matter what these women said, even if they said this guy did what he did, they would have been prosecuted to the fullest extent. There was been no freaking way that they could have gotten away with this.
But there are other people who need to be held accountable too in his circle, because there's no way he did this alone.
Well, what's her name? Maxwell, the lady Maxwell. Yeah. She's absolutely just as guilty as he is.
Oh yeah.
She's the one who.
She's disappeared. She's disappeared, hasn't she?
She's in New England.
Oh.
She lives in New England, somewhere in New England. Where exactly, we don't know. I haven't read that. Linda, if you've seen that, let me know. But I haven't seen where. God, what the hell's her first name? I can't. It's Maxwell. It's Giselle or something like that. It's not the way it looks. It's like Giselle or something like that. But it's just crazy how many people had to be involved, including airline pilots, airline stewardesses, people who worked down at his island that he had, people who worked in his Miami mansion that he had, people who worked in his New York. And for Prince Andrew to get up and give the bullshit explanation that he gave on the BBC, oh my God, how stupid do you think we are, dude? Like,
If you
really?
haven't, I'd suggest going and watching that if you haven't watched the interview with Prince Andrew a month ago, whatever it was, a couple of months
Yeah,
ago.
it was on
Yeah,
it was on the BBC. It was around Thanksgiving time, and
you can find it on YouTube.
all you got to do is look up Prince Andrew BBC, and you
Mm-hmm.
will find that interview. And that interview
And
is
he's
just so revealing of how totally ludicrous and out of his mind he's trying to make himself Mr. Royal, who's like, oh, it was a convenient place to stay.
Yeah.
Every place is a convenient place to stay when you're a royal.
Yeah.
Please. Please. And I'm like, a convenient place? That blew my mind away. I'm like, every place is a convenient place to stay. If your mom's the Queen of England, please.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
So when I watched that, I was so angry and mad. And let's face it, I got you hooked on The Crown.
Oh my gosh.
Totally hooked on The Crown.
Yes.
And I cannot wait for season, I don't know, 14 is it? Maybe 13?
How many seasons are there?
Right now there's 3, but I'm talking about when they get to season 13 would be now present day. I mean, that is going to be one hell of a TV show.
Oh, I know.
In regards to everything that's going on with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, everything that's going on with Prince William and his wife, and the two of them that's going like face to face. Then you got Prince Andrew, then you got Prince Charles, and you got the Queen and her husband.
Camilla.
So much. So much. It's.
I'm at the end of season 2 right now.
Season 3 went by so fast for me. I'm like, no, it's not over, please.
Yeah.
But it was over.
As long as they're making season 4.
They already have seasons. They're on 3, 4, 5, 6.
Really?
So they at least have all the actors up till 6. Yes.
Why don't we have seasons 4, 5, and 6 then?
They have the actors. They haven't made it yet, but they have the actors.
Right.
Yes. Because what they were going to do was do 2 seasons of the youngest, 2 seasons of the Queen in her middle age, and they were going to do, I think, 2 seasons of her elderly. But the fact of the matter is, there's way more controversy now than I think that's ever happened with the royal family.
I'm up to where Prince Charles goes to secondary school. He's not, and Philip doesn't want him to go to Eton.
Well, that just gets better as time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Because you kind of get to see, because you know what? I always thought he was a jerk.
Oh, he's a jerk.
My mother woke me up at the age of 5 years old to watch a stupid wedding that I cared nothing about at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Why do I care about this wedding? I'm 5 years old.
I know.
didn't care, but to this day, I can still say I at least watched Princess Diana walk down the aisle and marry Prince Charles.
Yeah.
Even though I was 5 years old and didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
I remember waking up and doing it.
Oh, yeah. I remember it.
And the fact of the matter is that my mom forced me to do it. It was the only reason why I woke up. And, well, my mom also forced me to wake up when I was 3 years old, and we had to go see the Pope. I'm like, we're going to go see the Pope. I don't want to go see the Pope. I was 3. What do I know about the Pope? I didn't know anything.
Give me a Barbie.
I just remember standing outside on the streets, and then I remember him driving by in the Pope mobile.
That's right.
He had the Pope mobile, and he drove by and he waved, and then he said mass, and I just remember standing on the side of the street. We didn't move. We were like as if we were in a parade.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like being at mass or going to mass. It was like being in a parade, and the Pope was there. And I completely remember the whole thing, believe it or not. But I wouldn't say the whole thing. I don't remember the mass and stuff like that, because that was the part where I was like, this is boring.
Oh, yeah.
So I was 3. Come on now. But I totally remember the Pope going by. I totally remember being in front of the church. I remember the sun coming up. I remember it being dark. I remember it going from dark to light and being stuck in the same place that we were. I just remember that setting very well. And I was in a stroller. I was in a freaking stroller. But I remember. I certainly remember.
Oh my gosh, out of all of the memories that you have, that one sticks.
There's a lot of them that stick, believe it or not. Some of them that should stick, but I might not. I might.
Gonna blame your mum.
My mom. Yeah. We had Christmas at her house this year, so.
Good. Yeah, I'm gonna see my mum on Sunday. Our Sunday, it was your Saturday. I didn't see her last Christmas, so it's been 2 years since I've seen her.
Oh, well, my sister, like normally I have a sister who lives out on the West Coast, and she'll come in, but she didn't this year, which is fine, because her and her husband come in every time, and he's like, I think I told you, he's like a music producer.
Yeah, I think you did tell me.
Yeah, he bought us tickets to go see Dave Matthews here in New Jersey. Oh, yes, you do. And I was stuck in the hospital that you did that beautiful.
That's right. I tried.
You did, but you did. And that's all that mattered.
Oh, dear me. Hey, you got 2 thumbs down for your live.
That's awesome. Woohoo! Thank you.
2 people hate us. It'll be Karen and Ashley.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. Thank you for the thumbs down. I appreciate any thumbs I get.
Thank you, everyone, for coming in.
We have been on here for a mighty long time.
We have?
Yes. It's been about 2 hours now.
Yeah, almost.
I know it. It's been on my channel. Sorry.
Crazy.
But you know what? It's been kind of a slow. Thank you, lady. Oh, Linda, you're the best for hanging out with us all night. You're the awesomest, Linda. We love you.
I'm gonna rip this video and put it on my channel. I know you won't mind.
You can go and do whatever you want with this video, whatever you want to do with it. It's all
I think we might alternate between channels over the next, 2020 and see how we go. We haven't got a plan yet, but it will come.
And thankfully, there's no stories that I'm close to in 2020, so that I can see for now, at least.
Well, knock on wood.
I don't plan on it either.
I wonder what the biggest story is going to be in 2020 that hits us.
I don't even want to know.
No, I know. Don't even know what it's going to be.
I don't want to know.
The scary thing is, I'm going to say guy, that guy is out there planning it right now. It's the scary thing.
Yeah. And it's something that maybe we can't even grasp our head around yet.
No.
And that's the shit that scares me the most.
Yeah.
As a mom of a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old girl, in an age that was scarier than the 80s, where my dentist was named Dr. Snow. That was his name. Why?
Snow?
Yes, no, his name was Dr. Larry Lavin. He was my dentist. Dr. Larry Lavin was also a drug dealer.
Oh.
Dr. Larry Lavin also conducted drug deals out of his dentist office in Philadelphia.
Oh, well, nice.
The guy who used to play like little magic tricks on me was a coke dealer. I'm telling you, look him up. Dr. Snow or Dr. Larry Lavin. You will find him. You will find, and there is a ton. I could do something on this. Why have I not thought of this before?
Because now we're collaborating. All of these ideas are coming out, and we're going to give people amazing content for 2020.
Oh, God, yeah. Like, you don't understand. Like, to find out that your dentist office, this guy that you thought was this really good guy, and he was attractive, too. He was very attractive. And I can remember that as like as a little kid, like, you know, I would have crushes on guys and stuff. I was always hot for the guys all the time. So
There you were, you little slut.
I was a little slut. So so, you know, he was to me, in my eyes, I just remember him being like kind of adorable. I kind of do. And then like the name of his receptionist was Cookie. And Cookie, but no, it's not. She wasn't like what you would think of when you would call. She was just a normal person. It was just her nickname, and it was.
She was in on the drug dealing.
And not only was my doctor, but his assistant doctor. They were all involved in this. They were all involved. And I'm like, no wonder I'm so screwed up. They probably put coke in everything that they gave me. No wonder. No wonder. I've been having coke since I was 5 years old. So that kind of...
That's it. That's what's wrong with you.
And I can remember as a kid watching and I remember as a kid watching world news, and to me as a kid, world news seemed so out of my reach. It was so far away. Everything just didn't make sense because it was another world. And then he would be on the world news, and this was my doctor. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense to me. And I'm like, how can this guy be on world news along with everything that's happening in the Middle East? I don't get it. Didn't make sense. And not until I got older, until like my mom got put on world news accidentally when my sister was in high school. I was still in grade school. My sister was in high school, and our high school got hijacked, and they pushed these guys and they kidnapped a bunch of guys and kept them in the office.
Wow.
And my mom went up to get my sister, and like the news was there, and so my mom didn't put makeup on. And she was so upset about the fact that she had no makeup on, to the point that she's almost 80 years old now, and she does not leave the house without lipstick on.
Oh my goodness.
To this day, I can't, like, what, Mom? You look great. Why do you need the makeup? Oh my God, what if a camera? I'm like, Mom, someone's not going to hijack the school every day. I'm just saying.
Oh, I love her already.
It's ridiculous what I've been through. Yes. Hold on.
That was good timing anyway.
What do you want?
Hi, Mom.
I'm not. There's no picture of me whatsoever.
Here. Hi, Mom.
Gracie's trying to get on camera, but I'm like, we're not on.
We're live.
What's that?
I'm gonna say goodnight to you now.
Good night, old Grace.
Night. I'm not like.
Good night.
Good night.
She can hear you.
Oh, good.
Your headphones
Yeah.
are so loud.
Good night, Grace.
Good night.
Wait a second. I
Who's
need that?
Excuse you?
I need that.
Excuse you.
I need my charger.
And you will.
Mom, you've had it all day.
Had it all day. Mum?
I'm about to get into a huge argument with my daughter if she doesn't walk out.
It's good timing though, because we were going to wrap this up, I think.
Get out.
Get out.
I need my charger.
Get out. Miss Murder says, get out.
Stop. I will be in. Now go.
I need it.
Go. Go.
I need it.
Go. Go.
We're wrapping it up.
Yes.
We're wrapping it up.
I need my charger.
We're wrapping it up. Go get me my red cord and we'll talk.
Mom, I need
Patient
my
young
charger.
girl, Papa.
She's like, I will annoy you when you're online on purpose. I'm like, and that's it. She's sitting here staring in my eyeballs like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to get you really badly. I'm like, I told you not to bother me. Like when we're talking about stuff that's serious, I'm like, you can come in anytime when we're not talking about anything serious.
Yep.
When I'm talking about something serious, I'm like, give me the time to talk and do that, because I don't do that very often at all, especially when the kids aren't around. So.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Then switch it. Switch it now. And switch them both.
Let's see it plugged in all the way.
I don't care.
I just
Sorry.
my
This is not what I meant for. Take it.
Oh,
Just
thank you for coming in, everybody. I
just
think we're going to
take
go
it.
before these two kill each other.
Sorry. It's all good. We're all done. All good.
We're done. We're good.
We're done.
Stay tuned for the
I'm
both
sorry.
of us.
I'm sorry. My 12-year-old. She likes to be a 15-year-old sometimes and like dig the needle into me really hard. She's really good about doing that. And you've met my daughter, so you know.
I know.
You know. She's like, I love to be annoying. I'm like, you can do it really well sometimes.
You're good at it.
Good night, Linda. Thanks for hanging out. Good night, hanging out with Mr. J. Good night, everybody else who came in. We really appreciate just for coming in to check us out. Yeah. This was just, we kind of had a whole lot of technical difficulties in the end. And then, other things happened and kids interrupted.
We did it.
But we did it. We did it. It's here. And if it's not, then YouTube erased it for whatever reason. Okay.
Okay.
So, Miss Murder Australia, have a very happy new year.
Yes, you too. Everyone have a happy new year.
If I don't get to tell you publicly.
Yes.
Happy new year. Happy 2020. Happy new decade.
2020.
2020.
Yes. Goodbye.
Good night, Linda. Good night, everybody. All right.